The emergency klaxons wailed through the bridge of the UES Defiance as Sarah Chen studied the tactical display with cold precision. 47 Crovatian warships materialized from hyperspace, their crimson hulls glinting like fresh blood against the starfield. They'd come for Earth's newest colony on Proxima 7, just as they'd come for 17 other human settlements in the past 6 months. "Captain Chen," Marcus called from the weapons station, his jaw clenched tight. "They're charging weapons. Same pattern as before. They'll glass the colony in 4 minutes." Sarah's fingers danced across her command console. The Galactic Council had made their position clear 3 months ago when Earth's ambassador stood before them, pleading for intervention. The Crovatian Empire was one of the Council's founding members, protected by treaties older than human spaceflight. Humanity was the newcomer, the upstart species that had clawed its way to the stars in a mere 2 centuries, while others took millennia. "They think we're weak," the Crovatian ambassador had hissed in the council chambers, his translator rendering his contempt in perfect clarity. "They think because they smile and negotiate, they lack the spine for real warfare. We will teach them their place," Earth had warned them. God, how Earth had warned them. Sarah remembered standing in the war room on Luna Station when the Joint Chiefs made their decision. No more evacuations, no more retreating, no more watching human worlds burn while the Galactic Council debated and deliberated and ultimately did nothing. Humanity had spent 200 years developing technology not just for exploration, but for survival in a universe that had proven hostile. The Crovatians were about to learn what that meant. "Marcus, activate Protocol Reaper," Sarah ordered, her voice steady, despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Authorization Chen Alpha 79er. Marcus's hands hesitated for only a heartbeat over his console. "Confirmed. Protocol Reaper active. God help us all." The Defiance shuddered as its experimental reactor spun up to full power. Every other human ship in the sector did the same. 32 vessels against 47. On paper, the Crovatians had the advantage. Their shields were stronger, their weapons more refined, perfected over 10,000 years of galactic dominance. But humanity had something the Galactic Council had never bothered to develop. Desperation weaponized into innovation. "Firing solution locked," Marcus reported. "Quantum displacement torpedoes ready. Captain, once we do this, there's no going back." Sarah thought of the families on Proxima 7, the children who'd never known Earth's sky, the colonists who'd bet everything on a new world. She thought of the 17 colonies that had already been reduced to radioactive ash. She thought of the Council's empty platitudes and the Crovatian Empire's arrogance. "Fire!" she commanded. The torpedoes erupted from the Defiance's banks, followed by identical launches from every human ship. They weren't like conventional missiles, they didn't travel through normal space at all. Quantum displacement meant they existed in probability states, occupying multiple positions simultaneously until the moment of impact. The Crovatian shields, designed to deflect energy weapons and stop physical projectiles, were utterly useless. 12 enemy ships exploded in the first salvo. The quantum torpedoes phased directly through their shields and materialized inside their reactors. The detonations were catastrophic, chain reactions that tore through the Crovatian formation like dominoes. "They're breaking formation," Marcus shouted, a fierce grin spreading across his face. "They don't understand what's happening." But Sarah did. The Crovatians had grown complacent, fighting wars with the same tactics for millennia. Humanity had spent centuries learning that adaptation was survival, that innovation was the only constant. Every war Earth had fought against itself had taught them something new, forged them harder. The Crovatian fleet attempted to regroup, their commanders screaming orders across quantum-encrypted channels. They launched their own weapons, massive plasma cannons that could vaporize cities, but the human ships were already moving. Their AI-assisted pilots executing evasive maneuvers that would have been impossible for organic reflexes alone. Sarah had uploaded her consciousness into the ship's tactical network, her mind moving at computer speeds. She saw the battlefield not as a 3-dimensional space, but as a 4-dimensional probability matrix. Every move, every counter-move calculated in microseconds. "Deploying kinetic swarm," she announced, and the Defiance released millions of marble-sized drones. They accelerated to relativistic speeds in seconds, becoming weapons of pure momentum. When they struck the Crovatian ships, they hit with the force of nuclear weapons, punching through armor that had been deemed impenetrable. The battle lasted 17 minutes. When it ended, the Cravatian fleet was debris, and every human ship remained operational. The colony on Proxima 7 was safe, its inhabitants staring up at the stars where their doom had been turned into salvation. Marcus slumped in his chair, exhausted from the neural link. "Captain, we're receiving transmissions from the Galactic Council. They're demanding we stand down immediately." Sarah laughed, bitter and cold. "Tell them we'll stand down when the Cravatian Empire apologizes for 17 destroyed colonies and agrees to reparations. Tell them humanity warned them. We begged them to intervene. We tried diplomacy, negotiation, appeasement." She pulled up the tactical display showing the wreckage of the Cravatian fleet. Already reports were flooding in from other sectors. Human forces, coordinated across light years, had struck simultaneously at every Cravatian military installation. The empire that had terrorized the younger species for generations was crippling under humanity's calculated fury. "And Marcus," Sarah added, her voice carrying across every human frequency in the sector, "tell them that the Galactic chose war instead of justice. Tell them they'll learn to regret that choice." The message went out across the stars, carried by quantum entanglement to every corner of civilized space. Humanity had been pushed to the brink, and instead of breaking, they'd pushed back. The galaxy would never underestimate them again. In the observation deck, colonists watched the debris field scatter, catching the light of Proxima Centauri like scattered diamonds. They'd survived because humanity had remembered a simple truth that the galactic powers had forgotten. The measure of a species wasn't in how peacefully they lived, but in how fiercely they protected their own when peace became impossible. The stars had been warned. Now they would learn.